Hi, my name's David Marsh. I'm a qualified stonemason. I've started when I was about 22 years old. Ever since I've been doing stonework. In the last 2 years I started my own company, and as you can see behind me, this is the kind of work we do majority of the time. I was working in retail hardware at Mitre 10 when I was younger. A family friend of mine came in one day and he offered me a job, and he did stonework as well. I took the job and never looked back. I really enjoyed it. It took a little while, mainly because it's actually really hard work. But once you get used to it, it's not that hard. Well, it is, but it's a lot easier than when you started. And I've loved it ever since. I love being outside. That's probably half of the reason why I enjoy doing it. The other part is probably knowing that it's a tradition. People have been building walls such as this for thousands of years. I guess there's a little bit of honour in, being able to do something that was happening 2,000, 3,000 years ago. The major thing for me is being able to see the customer after you've finished the job. Like art or painting or anything like that, you come into a raw canvas and you can create what they have in their head, and it's fantastic to see them go, wow, that's exactly what I thought, that's what I wanted, and that's the most rewarding part of the job. The process for building a wall such as the one behind me is basically the civil company will come through and excavate the footing, which is what lies below the wall. A surveyor will come out and mark the location and height of the wall. Then I will come in with some concrete, pour concrete into the footing, and then start placing rocks into the footing. Once that has set, I can then come in, start mixing mortar, placing a layer of mortar on, and then placing a layer of rock on top of that, filling all of the voids and repeating the process until I get to height. There is a sequence that generally makes it easier, which is your larger rocks go at the bottom of the wall, and as you get higher and higher, you use smaller and smaller rocks. It can look a little bit funny, but it's just a lot easier on the body to do it that way. This job is one of the hardest jobs in the country. We almost purely work outside. We are in direct sunlight, sometimes rain, hail. It's hard, but you can't really stop. You just got to keep working. The reason I stick with it is because it's a form of art, and I love doing what I do. Every job is completely different. You can be on a really high-end residential job, or you can be doing something like what is behind me. It's all different and you make it your own. At the end of the day, it pays quite well as well. You have to work probably harder than most people in the country and in any industry, but it's rewarding. So basically, your normal person wouldn't be able to build a wall like this purely because there's a certain way the stones stack. You can't just throw them on and hope that they'll stay there, because they won't. A rock generally has 3 sides that you use when you build with. a face, which you see, a bottom and a top. So the bottom has to be flat or close to, otherwise it won't sit on the rock below it, and it has to have a flat top, so the one on top of that will stay on top of that as well. It takes a lot of effort and a lot of experience to be able to just look at a rock and know that it will go where you want it to go. Yeah.